Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 o'clock on May 4th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta.
And I'm Danny Stepanovich, and you're taking a live look at Wairika from the Rain Rock Casino. But first, we want to check back in with Sarah. Sarah, we saw an active Rogue Valley yesterday. Is that something we can expect today?
Yeah, the Rogue Valley was active yesterday, but we'll see that activity switch east side, Klamath, Lake counties, and also into Northern California. We're going to see that activity as well. So here's a live look out across the region. Things are much quieter starting our morning on Monday. We are expecting to see isolated to spotty showers and thunderstorms. We'll have another warm afternoon ahead of us. Winds will turn a bit gusty into your afternoon, especially if you're along the Cascades and into Klamath or Lake counties into the second half of the day. But let's get into that activity this morning. It is pretty quiet, and I'll say most of us are expected to stay dry the first half of the day, but we do have a few light showers into our west side areas, and I'm starting to see some shower activity pick up into eastern Siskiyou County. Again, most of us will be on the drier side this morning, and that activity is expected to pick up later this afternoon into the evening. And when it comes to those temperatures out the door, right now we're sitting at 56 for Medford, 54 into Grants Pass. East side, it's starting to feel a little bit chillier. Klamath Falls, we're now at 34. We have 39 for Lakeview, Montague at 41, 48 for Mount Shasta, and along the coast, we're into the 50s. Our highs today are expected to stay pretty warm. We'll be into the upper 70s for our west side valleys. That is a little bit cooler than yesterday, but not by much. Over east side, we'll be into the 70s as well, seeing that into Siskiyou County, but along the coast, we'll hold on to a bit more clouds, keeping those temperatures into the 50s. When it comes to the risk for thunderstorms today, best risk is going to be into Siskiyou County. We did see that risk into the next hour grow just a bit, but I'm still thinking that we'll see those showers chances better into the area's east side as well. I'll have more details on timing and when we can expect to see all of this activity wrap up coming up in just a bit.
And Sunday's thunderstorm brought down a tree in East Grants Pass, trapping 2 people inside of their homes. Rural Metro Fire responded to 2 homes on Rogue River Highway where a tree knocked down by heavy rain and wind severely damaged 2 homes. Crews say the residents inside weren't able to get out, so rescue teams extricated both people from the rubble. They were then transported to a local hospital for non-life-threatening injuries.
Moving into continuing coverage, Southern Oregon University is continuing the process to address its 2027 funding shortfall, even after securing $15 million in emergency state funding. A consulting company will suggest radically different structures for administrative service areas and a dramatic refocus on the school's academic portfolio. The preliminary report is going to be presented today from 3 to 5 p.m. And after hearing the report, SOU's Board of Trustees have special meetings planned on May 5th and 8th, where the trustees will consider the plan for a vote for the next steps. Representative Pam Marsh says in a Facebook post, "This is a tumultuous time for Southern Oregon University and for the community that cares deeply about it." She adds that higher education across the country is facing an existential crisis driven by declining enrollment, higher cost, and questions about the value of a 4-year degree. Marsh says urgency for immediate and meaningful restructuring is real, yet confident the university can adapt and endure the long term. Meanwhile, students at SOU are planning to make their voices heard. A student-led protest is scheduled for today at 2 p.m. outside the Hannon Library ahead of Deloitte's presentation. Organizers say they're concerned the proposed cuts are based on flawed data and could impact programs they believe are critical to the university's future.
And new this morning, the House of Representatives passed the Doug LaMalfa bill last week, protecting wildfire and disaster victims from unfair taxation. The Doug LaMalfa Federal Disaster Tax Relief Certainty Act passed unanimously. The bill extends 2 federal tax deductions designed to help victims of natural disasters recover and rebuild through 2026. The first reduction allows disaster-related losses to reduce an individual's tax liability. The second deduction excludes any payments from being counted as income if such payments are being made as compensation for losses from a wildfire.
And moving into the money alert, the Oregon State Fire Marshal is announcing the recipients for the 2026 wildfire season staffing grant. For the last 5 years, this grant has helped get local structural firefighters to fires before they can grow into wildfires. Several rural agencies in Southern Oregon are receiving funding, including Wolf Creek Rural Fire, Silver Lake Rural Fire, and Bly Rural Fire. Now, these grants could be up to $35,000 each.
And more than $3 million in federal funding is heading to small airports across the state, including the Port of Gold Beach for the Gold Beach Airport. Provided through the Federal Department of Transportation, these funds aim to improve infrastructure in rural communities. Gold Beach is receiving $78,000 to reseal 3,200 feet of runway and taxiway pavement. The city's mayor, Tammy Kaufman, says the port is critical for emergency services and helps drive economic development.
And if you're planning a trip to the Oregon coast or state park soon, there's a big change that has happened. As of today, drones are now banned across all Oregon state parks and the entire coastline. There are exceptions if it's in a specifically designated area. Only a handful of approved zones will allow drone use, and permits are now required for things like commercial filming or research. Officials say the state looks to better protect wildlife and visitor privacy.
And as many begin to recreate outdoors, staying safe in remote areas is a concern many might have.
Yeah, and NewsWatch 12's Robert Alietti got a first-hand look at a search and rescue training with crews from all over Oregon and California.
California-Oregon Regional Search and Rescue Group is training here at the Lake of the Woods with over 200 people coming together to sharpen their skills across all disciplines of search and rescue so that they can save your life if you need it.
We can pull together people from any of the 10 counties in Corsar to say, can you help us? And everybody's starting from the same place.
The familiarity with different teams works hand in hand with shared technical knowledge to ensure that crews can complete rescues. With crews working independently, opportunities like this training are very important.
We all got to be on the same page and know how to work with each other. So again, that's what this brings every 2 years, is us coming back, getting together, and fine-tuning those skills again.
The teamwork isn't just to make rescues easier, it's born out of necessity.
Because we need more resources and more people, more boots on the ground. And that's the only time we see each other in this collective group of 10 counties, except every 2 years when we come together.
While crews are doing all they can to hone their craft and make more successful and efficient rescues, it's important that you know what to do if you get lost to make their jobs easier.
What we need more than anything is for you to stop. Because the thing is, if you move, you make our job considerably difficult.
Reporting from Lake of the Woods, I'm Robert Alietti.